Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Ashish. First of all, I would like to thank Father Joseph Ras for providing me this opportunity to speak in front of you all. Secondly, I would like to thank Nidhi Misra for arranging all these things for me so that I can share my views on communication skill. Friends, today's topic is effective communication skill. What is communication? First, the questions arises in our mind. What is communication? Can we live without the communication in this world? And what is the purpose of the communication that we have to live in? So, what is communication? The process of communication is what allows us to interact with other people. If you want to interact with other people, if you are in this world, if you are alive in this world, you have to interact with the others. Without it, we cannot survive in this world. When a child takes birth in this world, first of all, that child cry. And when that child cry, the mother is coming near that child. So that is the first interaction with this world, from a child to a mother. That child knows how to interact, and with the help of that interaction only that child can tell the message to a mother, and mothers understand what the child wants. We would be unable to share our knowledge. Friends, for the communication, it doesn't mean that we should have a lot of knowledge, we should have a lot of degrees. We should know how to communicate properly. We should know how to share our knowledge. We should know how to share our feelings. We should know how to share our experience with anything outside ourselves. This whole world and we have two things which we are interacting with each other. First of all, just now I told you about the example of a child. That child, when interacts with mother, giving the milk to that child, like that only, we are also just like the father figure or a mother figure for our children. As we know, we are teachers. We go to the classroom. And there are 60 students sitting in the classroom, and we all are the teachers. We go there, we have to interact with them. Before going to the classroom, we are preparing the lesson plan. We are preparing all the contents that which we are going to deliver into the classroom. But only making the classroom materials, making only the all kinds of things is not important. More thing that is important is the communication. How you share your feelings, how you share your views, how you share your concept to the students. Without sharing your concept, no one can understand the things, the materials which you are going to deliver into the class. And for that, what is required? The thing that is required to deliver your communication is that you have to understand your children whom you are going to deliver that. Suppose you are going to in any class. First of all, you have to understand each and every student, what they want, what they like to hear, what their likes, what their dislikes. Are they are in the mood to study? Yeah, we are just going and delivering them all the content. This is this, but they are not taking anything. And at the result, at the end of the class, what we are getting? We are getting big zero. That nobody has understood the subject. Nobody has understood whatever we have taught. And we are in a great frustration. We are in a great frustration that nobody is understanding what we are teaching. And we are always complaining. We are in the complaining mode. This child is not studying. He's not working properly. What can I do? I have delivered everything. I have taught everything. I have done everything. I have given everything, but nothing he had understood what you have taught into the class. What is the big reason behind this, dear friends? The big reason is that we don't know that skill. Skill is very, very important. Communication everybody is doing. Everybody is doing, whether a PhD, whether any degree, they are interacting with this world, they are communicating with this world, but they are not having that communication skill. And skill is very, very important. If you know that skill, you can communicate it with a very well manner. And you will be the successful teacher. Many times we have seen so many students flocking toward their teachers. They like their teachers. They admire their teachers. They want to be with their teachers. What is the reason behind this? And there are some teachers, they're just sitting like this. They're waiting for them. Anybody will come to us. They will talk to us. They will ask the questions, but they are not asking, what is the reason? You are also qualified. They are also qualified. What is the big difference between you and him? The big difference is that he knows how to communicate. He knows how to share his views to his child. He understands the feeling of the child, what his child wants, how will put the content into his mind. The teachers are just like the farmers' friends. They have to understand their field. They have to understand their minds of the students. What there, because in the class, as you know, there are so many students. And in the students, some students are studying, some students are very to the point, some students are very, very funny type, some don't want to study, some students wants to, some students wants to always create the problems because they are not happy with the study. Their parents have sent them to school that because they are disturbing into their house. That's why they are coming to here. But what our work of the teacher, the work of the teacher to understand them, work of the teachers to understand them, and we have to put all the contents which we are having into their mind in your own way. For that, communication is very, very important. The process of this is where without we would be unable to share our knowledge, experience with anything outside. Communication includes speaking also. You have to speak. Process of communication. Second topic is process of communication. The first topic I have cleared what is communication and how the communication we are doing and what is the importance of communication. Without communication, we cannot survive. We cannot be the successful. If we are seeing successful people in this world, this doesn't mean they have studied well. They have got so many degrees. They know how to communicate. They have to know how to interact with this world. And if they know this very well, then only they are the successful in this world. Second process is the process of communication. What is the process? What is the process? First is the sender. Second one is the receiver. We all are the sender here. We are giving the information. We are studying from the books. We have gathered so many informations, but we don't know how to send that message to their children. We don't know how to represent in front of our students. Then how the communication will be the successful? You must think like this. How the successful will be, how will be successful in communicating with the student. So first of all, we should know how to send our message, to the receiver. And who is the receiver over here? Who is the receiver? For the teacher, student is the receiver. For the teacher, parent is also the receiver, because sometimes in the PTM, the teachers in the PTM time, what happens? There's so many parents coming to the in the meeting. They're asking for about their children. At that time, we have to tell them exact thing in the different way. We have to communicate all the information about the child to their parents in a different way, so that nobody should feel bad. They will understand the exact message also, and the students will also not get in depression. Why that my teacher is talking about me like this? So we have to motivate them. We are the motivators. We are the students motivators. We are not the demotivators. So for that, we have to use such kind of words. We have to use in such a way. So for that, communication is very, very important. So there are two processes. The first one is the sender and second one is the receiver. Effective communication. Friends, effective communication. We are communicating. Everyone is communicating in this world. But some communication is very, very effective. And some communication is not effective. What we are saying, they are not, nobody is bothering about you, what you are saying. But something you are saying in a very short, that is very, very effective. That is passing to their receivers very, very well. So meaning and definition, what is the second one, usage of the communication. And third one is the 7 C's of the effective communication and fact about the effective communication. These are the 4 points. First one is the meaning and definition. Second one, usage of effective communication. First of all, you have to understand the matter. You have to understand the meaning, what you are going to deliver. You that should be very, very clear. And how can you define that? How can you elaborate that? How can you say that? How can you represent that? That is the first thing. That is the first point of the effective communication. Second one is this. Uses of effective communication. We know each and everything. We have the information about everything, but we don't know how to use in a effective way. Effective way is means that how excitedly you are saying something to that, and that the excitement passes to your receivers. So that is also very, very important. Sometimes when you go to the classroom and you are just going there and starting all the chapters and saying that this is this, this is this, this is this, children are not getting affected by your teaching style. And second time when you go into same classroom with excited way, cheerful figure and a very good posture, when you are communicating the same words, that is being transferred. That message is being transferred to the student, and they're very happy. They will just click like this. They will be very happy. Yes, we have understood. When you ask from them, are you understood, children? They will say, yes, yes, yes. What is the reason? Bhai, you have gone the same class in the 2 way. First way, what we have go? You have gone, just started your chapter, telling all the content, telling all the messages, but nobody is taking it. In the second way, when you go over there only in a very happy mood, very attractive mood, excitedly, and when you are saying it by understanding the mood of the student in a very using the good words to them, so that they should be very happy, they should be very cheerful, and they're understanding each and everything. That is a very effective way of communicating your points to the students, and they are very happy. And the at the end of the class, they will just give you like this: wow, we have understood, sir. That is the real output when you know how to communicate with those students. 7 C's of effective communication. What is the 7 C's? There are so many things that I will tell you later. Facts about the effective communication. Effective communication, first one is the meaning. Effective communication is of 2 ways. Sending the right message to the right person. Sometimes when you are the student, you are teaching into the higher classes and you are going into the class 5 to teach the student, and you started the different chapter that is being taught in the class 10th or class 9th, and you are starting chapter that only to teaching to the class 5 students. Will they accept your teaching style? Will they accept all the contents? They are not going to accept your contents, what you are giving, because everything file not found. Whatever you will speak in front of them, then nothing is going to happen. No result is going to come. Only everything will go on to their overhead. So what we have to do, we have to choose the right message and to the right person. If we are going to teach the class 5 students, for that you have to understand the class 5 mentality. What should be the content for the class 5 students, and what are the words that we are going to use in front of them, in what effective style we are going to use in front of them. These 3 things we have to decide earlier. These things we have to decide earlier. And when you decide and when you execute in front of them, that will be the very effective way of communicating in front of the that student, and that student will get satisfied, and the class will be keep cool, calm, and very effective, and everything whatever you want your students to learn, they will learn, and they will be very thankful to you teachers. So second, those two things, what are they? Right message, and second one is the right person with whom we have to communicate and what we have to communicate. This should be clear in our mind. Second thing, it is important to know the psychology of the people. Just now I was talking about, you have to know the psychology of the people you are interacting with for the communications to be effective. Suppose you are going to teach the students who don't want to study, and you started teaching the main contents like this is this. What is light? Light is a form of energy which enables to see the object from which it comes. Nothing will go happen in the class. He is not going to understand anything because you don't know the psychology of that child. How that child is going to understand. Sometimes with the help of examples, sometimes you have to act in front of them, sometimes you have to do different activities, so many activities you have to do in front of them according to their psychology, according to their needs, according to the timing. All these things is very, very important. And if you know, then you are the very good communicator. Your communication skill is very good, then that will be going to be effective, fabulous. That is going to be the fabulous. And everybody will say that is a very good, you are a good teacher. For communication to be effective, it is necessary to know the circumstances of the counter entity. Just now I was talking about counter entity. To whom we are going to counter with, you should be aware of that. Effective communication includes all the aspects of the visual, auditory, kinesthetic language to appeal the listeners. If you are going into the class, if we are going into the class, some way of visual, some things we'll do something in front of them so that they can see it. We have to make the pictures, we have to make the diagrams, we have to act in front of them. You have to communicate in a different way. So if they will see, they will going to understand by seeing that activity, by seeing that pictures, by seeing that anything, they can going to understand. Auditory, what you are, while making the pictures, by making the diagram, by making the any kinds of activities, you have to say something in a very kind voice, effective voice. This is the language to appeal to the listeners so that everybody will get attracted toward you. Everybody will get listened to you. This is very, very important. Because when we are going into the classroom, just now they have just finished the earlier classes. So they are busy in their different things. But when you go there, you have to put something common skills, something good points, so that everybody get attracted toward point. Something is going to happen, sir is going to give something new, but you are going to give the same thing, same chapter, but in a different way. This is the effective communication skill, and we have to learn. If we will learn, we will be the successful. We will be the successful like the others people in this world. There's so many people, they are very, very successful. We are saying this, he has not studied a lot. He's not having that degree. He don't have anything, but he is successful. What is the reason behind this? Come on, tell me. What is the reason? अरे भाई सिंपल सी बात है. He knows how to communicate with his fellow beings. The person he wants to communicate, he know it very well. He know how to influence the people. He know how to send his message to the receivers. That is the main thing. That's why he is the successful and we are not. So what can we learn this? Yes, we can learn. Nobody is a born skilled communication he's having. Nobody is having the born by brought up and born up. बचपन से ही किसी को नहीं है. They are just learning. We have to learn. We have to learn, and this can be learned. Uses of effective communication. Effective communication help us to understand the person or a situation in a better way. If you communicate with the people, you can understand that person. or situation in a better way. If you not talk to anybody, just waking up in the early in the morning, whole day we are using all the doing all kinds of activity, but we are not communicating the right person. We are not trying to understand the person with whom we want to communicate. Then how we are going to understand that person? How we will going to understand that situation through which he or she is going through? So effective communication also help us to understand the person or understand the situation in a very better way. You are going to get a good friends by communication. You are going to get a very good person in your life, but you will become just mingle. You are going to mingle with the students. Students will like you, and we are also going to like this. The class will be very good way. And where you are going to enjoy that class if you know how to communicate with the student, and student will understand you. Definitely that class is going to rock. Second thing, it enables to solve the difference. Sometimes teachers, there are so many students, we don't understand what they're thinking, what they're thinking about, what they want, because they respect their teachers. They're not saying anything to the teachers. And what we teachers thought, we have completed the syllabus, they have understood everything, but there is something that is having in their heart, but they are not saying anything. So there is a great difference between the teacher and the student. They are not taking you seriously. Wherever they see you, they think, "Aa gaya, ab to ye to something is going to happen. It's very difficult to pass this 30 minutes or 45 minutes. How will we are going to see him?" So if we know how to communicate, we will sit with the students, we will listen to the student. First of all, our duty, whenever we are going to teach the students, whenever we are going to say something to the listener, we have to listen first. जाने के बाद तुरंत ही blah 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 blah, we don't have to do that. First you listen them. First you listen them what they are thinking about. Is there any differences in your mindset and their mindset? If you are understanding this mindset, what they are thinking about and what you are going to deliver, is differences can be sorted out very easily if you know the effective communication skill. It also builds trust. When somebody gets satisfied with your thought process, if somebody gets satisfied with your knowledge, if somebody gets satisfied with your personality, definitely there is a kind of trust started from that time only. From that time only, a trust is starting taking the birth in the heart of the student and the teachers. Though there is a good bonding between the teachers and the students. These things we are lacking, teachers. These things we are lacking. We are not able to communicate with our student. We don't need to complain. They are not understanding. They are not studying. If they are not studying, that doesn't mean that they are a bad student. No. They don't have the brain. No. What the thing is this, the matter that is going to deliver by us is not reaches to our dear students in a very communicative way, very effective way. And the time when we get success in delivering the things, the things, there will be a differences that will be sought out. The build will be trust. We are going to build a trust. We will get the respect in the organization. There is also, if you are working in a school, we have to communicate with the principal. So there is a communication in the principal and the teachers also. So sometimes what happened, whatever the principal wants to say, we are not able to understand. Sometimes it may be our problem also, that we don't want to understand. Sometimes we don't want to say the things that which is going in our mind to our honorable principal. So by doing this kind of effective communication, we can sort out the differences, we can build the trust, we can take the respect in our organization. Sometimes our message is misunderstood? It's a big question. Sometimes we are in a very happy mood. We are saying something in something way, but the people who is receiving your message, they are understanding in a different way. They are misunderstanding. They are not able to understand what you are going to say about him or her, and that person from that day onwards is trying to take the revenge from you. Acha, you are talking to me, talking about me like this. Okay, so what is the big reason? Is this there is only a conflict between the message giver and the receiver, and if this will be sorted out, no problem. Effective communication help us to resolve the problems with both the points of view. So it's very, very important. So I think you all have understood what is the uses of the effective communication. First one is the we have to understand the person situation in a better way. Second thing, differences will be sorted out, build trust, respect the organization, will get the respect from the organization. Third point, if there is a misunderstood, our message is being misunderstood by the people, that will be also sorted out, friends, and we will be in a peaceful mind after communicating with the people. We are not talking. If you are having any kind of misunderstanding between the teachers, we are having a misunderstanding between the students and us, we are not talking with each other. The talking is very, very important. Interacting is very, very important. If we interact, then only we will be able to understand what is the main reason of the conflict and how can we solve how can you solve those conflicts. So this way the effective way of communication skill help us. 7 C's of there's some rules that I'm going to tell you about, sorry. 7 C's of effective, the 7 C's of effective communication. These are some, you can say this is a kind of a key. Completeness. Whatever the message to be delivered, that should be complete. We should not say anything incomplete message. And for the complete message, we have to work hard before. We have to go through the things before. We have to plan out the things before. And when we will plan out in a very right manner, then only that message will be complete. And if this message is complete and we will deliver that message to the receivers, receivers will get the message, and then only there will be no misunderstanding, no conflictions, only happy and happy ending. Conciseness. Don't say this. Only concise form of consideration. This should be considered clarity. That should be clear. So first one, what is completeness? Information conveyed in the message should be complete for the communication to be effective. That's why I was telling about. Whatever the message to be conveyed, that should be complete message. That should not be incomplete message. Light is a form of energy. Incomplete. Light is a form of energy which enables us to see the object from which it comes or reflected. This is the complete message. Whole complete definition is there. But before this, light is a form of energy. What will you know? Light is a form of energy, but this is not complete. So whatever the information we are going to deliver, whatever the information whatever the message we are going to give, that should be in a complete. That is the complete for the communication, and then only it will be effective. Otherwise, nobody is going to take you seriously. Nobody is going to take us seriously because we don't have the proper message and complete message. Second point, the sender must take a consideration the receiver's mindset, convey the message accordingly. Sometimes we want to deliver our message to the receiver, but the receiver is not in the right mindset. That time he or she must be working somewhere else. He must be teaching in some class. He must be making the class question paper and doing all kinds of activities. So if we want to say something to that person, will that person receive the message very clearly in a very effective way? No, he's not going to receive that message. He's not going to receive that all the messages that is very that should be very effective, that would be very effective. But due to the right mindset, he had not heard the message and he is not responding according to that. And what we are thinking, we are thinking, Array, I have said to that person, I have conveyed the message, then also that person is not responding properly. That person is not responding the properly. What is the reason? Yeah? He is not caring about whatever I said. No. This is not the reason. This is not the reason. First of all, we have to make that, you have to bring that person into the right mindset. As for example, when we are going into the classroom, sometimes what happens? The students, they are thinking about different things. Somebody is talking with their friends. Somebody is thinking about what the mother is cooking for him or her in the house. Somebody is thinking that he has to go to the marriage and a brother's marriage and all that. So different things is going into their mind. Somebody, they are getting fed up with the studies. So you are not understanding their mindset. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to build the right mindset. You have to take the proper timing. Yes, for this time I'm going to talk with you some honest some points. Are you free at that time? Definitely. If he or she will be free at that time, he will give you the time. And when that time, he will be in the receiving mode. That time, he will be in the receiving mode. Oh, that time, he will listen your things, you will listen your points, you will see everything, whatever you are going to give to him. And all the messages that you will deliver to him, that will be received by him in a very right way, on a very effective way. You will get a quick response. We are going to get a quick response. That is the effective way of communication. Understood, friends? What we have to do? We have to build the receivers. We have to understand the mindset of the receivers. And we have to take the chiming and then we have to deliver the things. That will be the very effective. Complete communication. Third point. Complete communication enhances the reputation of the organization. Complete communication enhances the reputation of the organization. We are self in the form of organization. We are the organization. We are all self-institution. Teacher is a self-institution. So if we were going to teach you something and whatever you are teaching in a very right way, you are communicating in a very right way, in a very right posture, at the right timing, everything is good, then what will be the reputation? Your reputation is going to become a good into the organization. Everybody is going to admire you. Everybody is going to like you. Even that students whom you are complaining about, that student is not studying, he or she is also going to say, "Nay, I have understood whatever my particular teacher had taught me about what chapter." Because you know the timing, you know the receiver's mindset, and then you are delivering the message, then it is taken by the receivers, and everything is going in the right way, then only your reputation will also increase. Complete information always gives the additional information. Wherever required, it leaves no question in the mind of the receivers. Yes. Friends, what happened? Complete information always gives the additional information. We are going to say something to our friend, we are going to say something to our students, then what happened? If you are not delivering in the complete message, then there will be always question, if this will happen, then what we are going to do? Sir has said this, then if this is going to this happen, then what will happen? If you are delivering all the message and you are not leaving a single point, single question in the mind of the receivers, that is the good way of completeness. That is good way of the communication. That is also the part of the effective communication skill. Concises means communicating what you want to convey in the least possible words. Yes. Communication means communicating what you want to convey in the least possible way words. Don't use so that others receivers get puzzled what he is or she is talking about. That receiver will not understand. Array, that particular person want to say something, but what the real thing he want to say, that we are not understanding. This means what? That the things, that material is not concise. That material, that message is not in a concise form. List word, considered words, very containing lots of information. Very list word is being should be used for the very good information. All the information should lie into that single word, in a single sentence. Then particular the person has to understand in a very list words. Conciseness is necessary for effective communication. So this is very necessity. This is a necessity of the time. Sometimes when we go to the classroom, we are talking about the syllabus, we are speaking everything, we are going into Harappa culture to modern history, everything we are explaining. But the real thing that is going, that the message to be delivered, to be understood by our students, they are not understanding. They are puzzled. What we have to, which message we are going to take, and which message we don't have to take. So for this thing, concise type form of the message should be there so that student can understand in a very least possible word, in a very good manner. Concise communication provides short, essential message in a short and essential message in a limited words. So this is the meaning of the conciseness. Consideration. Consideration. Effective communication must take the audience into the consideration by knowing the viewpoints, backgrounds, mindset, educational level. Effective communication must take the audience into the consideration by knowing the viewpoint. What is the things which we are going to say? What view he should get? What we are going to communicate? He understand. We should understand the background also. What was before, and what is the mindset of the sender, that also. And educational level, how much knowledge that person is having about that how much knowledge that person is having about the things. So these things, this is the effective communication must take the audience into the consideration by knowing the viewpoints, background, mindset, educational level, etc. Second thing, consideration implies stepping into the shoes of others. Sometimes we have to step into the shoes of others. We have to follow the others. We have to take the knowledge from how that particular person is successful in his life. What is the reason everybody likes him? What is the reason that he is successful in his field? So for that, we have to learn from them. We have to learn how that person is being successful in his life. So for that, we have to step into his shoes. We have to learn something from that. We should not have any ego that we are not going to understand from, we are not going to study from that person. We are not going to learn from that person. So sometimes stepping into the shoes of the others. Consideration ensures that self-respect of the audience is maintained. Their emotions are not harmed. Very important point. Whenever we are delivering the message, whenever we are teaching into the classroom, we are giving so many examples, we are going through the different circumstances. That time we have to take care that none of the child get their emotion hurt. They get their emotions hurted. They should get the proper self-respect. They should get their, they should be very happy emotionally. They should be attached to you. They think that you should be not a predictable. कुछ भी हो सकता है, he can do anything. नहीं. This should be a leader is a very, you have to become a good leader in that way. So self-respect of the audience should be maintained and their emotions are not harmed. Clarity. Clarity implies emphasizing on the specific goal, objective at the time, rather than trying to move away from the track. This goal is very, very important. Objective is very, very important. In everybody's life, there should be some goal. There should be some objective. There should be some adjective. Sorry. There should be some objective. Clarity implies the emphasizing on the specific goal. What is our goal? First of all, why we are teaching? We should be clear about this. Why we want to teach? Why you want to be the teacher? That is should be clear. If that is clear, no, then everything will be clear. What is our objective toward our life? That should be clear. Write all the goals in your life, and put the time on that. Till then, till that time, we are going to achieve that. Every goal should be in a written form. As we are making the lesson plan, there we are writing what is the objective, what is the goal. At the end of the class, our students is going to understand what were the things they are going to understand, and that is very, very important. Our goal should be specific. आम पढ़ा रहे, इमली नहीं सुनना है. Our aim is to understand about the mango. If we are teaching the mango, and our students should know about the mango. What are the varieties of the mango? Where it is grown? What are the things are required to grow the mango? Everything that should be learned by our receivers. That should be learned by our students. That is our objective. At the time is very, very important, children. Teachers. Time is very, very important. It doesn't mean that we are teaching something, some point, one period, second period, third period. We are going on teaching month, second month, third month, fourth month. Then also our goal is not being achieved. No. That goal or objective should be given time, and on that given time, it should be achieved. For that, we have to be alert. We have to be in the concise form. We have to be in the consideration. We have to understand the mind of the receivers and everything. Then only, if we'll put the date, we'll put the time, then only we'll be alert. We'll deliver our things, our message to the receivers in a very good way. Because from that time, we are going to create our mindset how to put the information, how to put the message to our receivers, rather than trying to move away from the track. And if we are not putting the time, if you are not clear to our goal, if you are not clear to our objective, then if there is no time, then what happens? We are having so much time. Why to finish right now? Let it be. Tomorrow I'm going to finish. Okay. Day after tomorrow I'm going to finish. But that point is not going to clear throughout the year also, and the receiver are still in problem because they have not understood what the message is being transferred by the teachers. They will again ask in the second year, next year, sir, you have taught something, still we have not understood. So that should be clear, objective, specific goal, objective on the time. Clarity helps to understand the message easily. We should not turn this side, that side. We should not use such kinds of words like the politicians. We should be clear to our message, what we are going to deliver to our hardest students. Complete clarity of thoughts, ideas enhances the meaning of message. Thought. Friends, we have lots of fight inside us also. Sometimes we are having different kinds of thought process. We are suffering from the different kinds of thought process. Sometimes our thought process says something and we have to deliver something, and that is not matching. Then the message that is being delivered to the receivers, we are not going to transfer very well. For that, we have to conquer ourselves. We have to clear our thought process. We have to clear our ideas, to enhances the meaning of the message. Everything that should be clear before we have to resolve our all the disputes which is going inside and outside the mind. Before, clarity should be there, then only that is going to get then only we are going to give the messages, and that message is being heard by our the receivers. That is main message is going to appreciate by our receivers. Then only you get the repetition. Then we are going to get the successful. We are going into the successful in a different field. Not only in the teaching, there are different fields, and in all the fields, communication is very important. Even if we are a fruit seller, if you are a vegetable seller, they know how to communicate. They know how to gather the customer. They know how to gather the customer. They are collecting all the customers. They are attracting all the customers because they are very clear to our thoughts, what they are going to speak, what the message they are going to give, and by the help of that message, all the customer will get attracted toward them, and that fruit seller is going to finish off his job in a very short span of time. This means what? His thought, his ideas toward his work, toward his message is very clear. Correctness. Correctness communication implies the being particular or clear rather than fudging general. Concrete communication implies the particular and clear rather than fudging and general. Concrete communication shows a good level of confidence. That will also shows the confidence, good level of confidence. If we are puzzled in ourselves, if we are puzzled in our ideas, if we are all puzzled in our thought process, then there will be a lack of confidence. There will be a lack of confidence. And if the lack of confidence is there inside your body personality, then how you are going to communicate to the receivers? So first of all, you should be confident. You should be clear to all your ideas. You should be very concrete message inside through your brain, so that your everything is good. Your body posture speaks. When you stand there, then only the message is being transferred. You don't have to speak a lot. You have to be like that. Concrete information helps to strengthen the reputation of the organization, or this concrete information will strengthen our self, our organization in where we are working, because we are up to date, we are confident, we are clear, we are correct, we are concise, we are doing all the activities before we are on the prompt, we are clear toward our goal. Then this will help us in concrete information, help to strengthen the reputation of the organization. By working in this way, wherever we are working, wherever we will work, that way we are going to keep our organization on the highest level. Yeah, these leaders are working over, these people are working over here. So this organization is definitely good. This organization is very nice. Courtesy. Courtesy means being polite. Sometimes we are not polite. We have the very knowledgeful person, so we don't want to be polite. We have ego. No. We should be polite. We should be kind, judicious, enthusiastic, convincing also. Sometimes we have to convince the people. So these things we should generate in our mindset, our lifestyle. Whenever the people meet with us, they think that he's a very polite person, he's a very kind person, he's very judicious, he's very enthusiastic, he wants to know something. Still, he is a very knowledgeable. Then also, whenever I am speaking something in front of me, he's very enthusiastic about the thing. He wants to learn from me also. Then what? They are going to be very happy. Sometimes we are the teachers, we are going into the classroom. Sometimes our students knows the things very clear. So we should be enthusiastic. We should know, try to learn from the students. Then they It doesn't mean that we will not be the teachers next time. No, we'll be the teachers. But by showing the enthusiastic nature, that student is going to be very happy. Sir is listening us. Sir is also giving the important to us. Importance में दे रहे हैं. So then that the next time he will also going to mingle with you, he is going to understand you, he is going to listen to you, he is going to follow you, he is going to understand you, and he is going to do his work very right way, and you will be the successful. Courtesy is an important element of the effective communication. This is a very important manner we should have. Courtesy. Courtesy reflects the nature. What kind of nature you are having? No. It should be very courteous. Character of the standards message. If your personality is having these types of quality, politeness, kindness, judicious, enthusiastic, convincing, this means what? This shows your character. And your character is making your image. And this image will transfer to the messengers, to the receivers. And that will be transferred to the people. And they are going to have an image about you that this person is a very nice person ever I meet. This is our favorite teacher. Why you are becoming the favorite? Because having these kinds of good qualities. So what we have to do? Nobody is born skilled communicator. We are learners. Nobody is born communicator. Everybody who is a good communicator, now he had learned the communication skill. And they have built all kind of nature, politeness, kindness, judicious, enthusiastic, convincing. Every nature he has brought in his mindset. As you know about the Valmiki. In the Ramayana, he has written the Ramayana. Before he was a dacoit. He had killed so many people. Before, what was the image? No. Nobody wants to go near him. Because, Arey bhai, if you will go there, he will kill us. But after that person he met with the saint, he changed himself a lot. And after the changing, he had brought everything inside his character, politeness, kindness, judicious. And he's very consensitive, he's become knowledgeful. He knows how to deliver his message. Then what happened? He is the Valmiki, he is a saint. Everybody praise him. His reputation is still, everybody understand about him. Barriers of effective communication. What are the barriers? Lack of sensitivity to the receivers, lack of basic communication skill. These are the encoding barriers, transmitting barriers, decoding barriers. There are three ways of barriers. There are three barriers. What are obstructing us to be a good communicator? First one is this, lack of sensitivity to the receivers. We are not sensitive to the receivers. We are going and delivering everything, blah, 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 blah. We are not bothering what the receivers want. Lack of basic communication skill we are not having. Insufficient knowledge of the subject. We are not having the knowledge about the subject also. Emotions interference. Lacking confidence. And if you don't have the knowledge, we don't have this kind of quality, definitely confidence will be downfall. Transmitting barriers. Physical distraction is there. Channel barrier is there. Long communication chain. This is also the second thing that is obstructing us to communicate better way. Decoding barriers. Lack of interest. We don't have the interest. Somebody has put in that field and we are coming here and teaching it. This means we don't have the interest. So interest should be there. You should be passionate toward your work. Lack of knowledge, lack of communicating skill, emotional distraction. We are always sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes this, sometimes that. There is emotional distraction is there. Information overloaded. Sometimes this is also very, very hazardous, dear friends. We are so learned, we are so intellectual that we don't want to listen what the other receivers want. We don't want to be sensitive toward the receivers. We are overloaded. We are knowledgeful. मेरे जैसा तो भाई कोई है ही नहीं. Information overloaded, conflicting message, and whatever the message we are giving to the receivers, that is a very conflicting. That is very, very conflicting, very, very, very confusing. Overcoming of the barriers of effective way. How can you overcome the effective communication? Effective questions should be there. Summarize what has been said. Connecting with the audience. You should be connect with the audience. Simple words, body language, a smile, eye contact, gesture, tone. These are the overcoming of the barriers. By following these rules, we can overcome the barriers and we can be the very good, effective communicator. What is listening? Listening is also is the absorption of the meaning of the words and sentence by the brain. Many times we hear something, but we what we have to focus, we have to hear properly, we have to interpret it properly, we have to analyze, we have to evaluate, you have to respond, and this way you can be the good listener. And remember, a good listener can become the good speaker. A good speaker cannot become the good listener. So first of all, we have to become good. For that we have to become good listener. तो पहले एक अच्छा श्रोता बने, वक्ता तो बन ही जाएंगे. Importance of listening. If Mark Twain said, if we are supposed to talk more than listen, if you want to talk more, we would have been two mouth, one ear. हम लोगों के पास दो मुंह होना चाहिए और एक कान होना चाहिए. If you want to be the speaker, then कान से सुनना पड़ेगा. Techniques of active listening: paraphrase, restate into your own words, summarize, pull together main points of the speakers. Part for the good communication: repeat whatever you are speaking in the class, repeat once, twice, thrice, so that the listener could understand properly, listen to understand, and understand before the speaking. Conclusion. Now the end point comes. A man is seldom better than his conversation. A man is seldom better than his conversation. So for today, this much, friends. Thank you very much. I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed this session a lot. I hope you all have. Thank you. Thank you very much.